Hi everyone, today I'll be talking about how the muscles stretch. And before I begin, I do want to say, have you ever felt really stiff sitting after a long time or during after a workout? Most of us know about stretching, but do we really know what is going inside our muscles, what is really happening? So stretching is something we do every day, whether we're doing exercise, our hobbies, sports, or even just normal movement in life that we're doing. Learning how the muscles stretch can help us understand how the body moves and how it stays flexible. So today I'll talk about the three things. The first point will be what our muscles made of. Second is what happens when we stretch, and third is how the nervous system kind of help us control our stretching. So going to my first point, to understand stretching, we first need to know what muscles are made of. Muscles are made of long cells called muscle fibers. These fibers are grouped together and covered by tissue that help keeps everything strong but also flexible. Inside those fibers, there are smaller parts that allow the muscle to tighten and to relax. This is what helps us move our body. So muscles are also connected by bone, by tendons, which are very strong but can be stretched a little bit more. Because of this, muscles are not just stiff, but they can move, they can stretch, and they could go back to their normal length. So when we stretch, it's not just one part moving, but it's many parts of the muscle working together as a group. So I do have here like a visual you guys could see. We have the skeletal muscle. Inside the skeletal muscle, we have another muscle group here. And then within this muscle group right here, it goes into the muscle fiber, which I talked about, which they look like a little bit of straws. So going to my second part, when you start stretching, your muscles begin to get longer, but the muscles don't stay longer forever. It's just allowing it to relax, allowing it more movement over time, for a shorter time, I should say. At first, you might feel stiffness. This happens really when the muscle are staying in a certain length. But if you hold the stretch, your muscle does get slowly relaxed. The stiffness goes away, and it becomes more easier to go a little bit further in your stretch. Stretching also helps bring more blood to the muscle, that's what we want, right? When we stretch, this makes it more looser, less stiff. Like I said, this is why stretching feels better after a warm up than when your body's still cold. So overall, stretching helps reduce tightness, allows it to move more freely, and of course, being more flexible. Going to my part three, which is the nervous system. So the most important part of stretching is actually the nervous system. Inside your muscles, there are sensors that kind of keep you in check to see how fast and how far you can stretch. If you stretch too fast, your body does react by tightening the muscle too tight. This is just like a way of your body protecting you before you're getting hurt if you stretch too far. This is why fast or bouncing stretches can feel really uncomfortable whenever you're doing like a certain, like let's say butterflies. You put your two legs together and you're moving them up and down. You do feel like that little bit of like that uncomfortable feeling, that tightness, but slowly it's just your muscle relaxing. Your body's always trying to keep you safe. It allows the stretching, it's always allowing stretching, but not always when it feels safe to do so. So your muscle and nervous system are always working together, which I do have like a little bit of a reference of like the nervous system. So this is kind of like your brain, well, your muscle, I mean, and then your nervous system right here. So it's kind of like a safety lock when it does if you go a bit too far or you stretch, in the wrong position, I could say. So in conclusion, stretching is more than just, pulling your muscles. Your muscles are made of fibers and tissues that allow for movement. Second, stretching can also help with muscle relax and moving better. And third, your nervous system controls your muscle response in stretching. Even though stretching looks simple, it's actually a lot of teamwork going on between the muscles, and it's a process inside your body. Understanding how muscles stretch can better help us understand, you know, how it's really beneficial for the body and how the body moves every day. Um, I do have a reference book I did see online. It comes to different parts of the body. Let's say your neck, your arm, your legs, your thighs. There is a book out there called the second edition Stretching Anatomy. It kind of breaks down the group, just like how I did right here as an example right here. It just breaks it down to the different parts of the muscle you will be stretching. It gives you kind of like, a little like warm up before your workout, or before when you wake up every morning if you want to do a good stretch. So yeah, if you ever interested in that as well, there is that online. And as well, I do have that experience within the kinesiology major. Back in high school, I did do sports medicine. So I did have incidents where I had athletes come into the training room because they did not, they came in because they got hurt, they pulled something, and before I even treated them, I asked them, hey, did you work out before your workout? Did you stretch? And the answer was like, no, I didn't stretch. So, that's why I always tell the athletes, you guys need to warm up, you got to stretch, you got to get your body pre-ready before the workout or before the exercise that you will be doing. But thank you very much, and hope you learn a little bit more about the muscle. Thank you.